obviously an exciting opportunity tomorrow. You're a student of basketball and history of basketball.
Right.
Playing the Palestra, what's that mean for you, just from a personal standpoint, an opportunity to play in that facility?
Yeah, it's cool. I've heard a lot about it. I've never been there. I still haven't been there.
Yeah.
We've had practices for 2 days at the Sixers practice facility, that's cool for me, just growing up a Julius Erving fan and a 76er fan. So just to be able to go there and be able to practice is pretty cool, pretty unique. But no, just trying to treat it, as any other game. It's a little different, obviously, playing a conference game in Philadelphia and not playing on Penn State's campus. And obviously, the Big Ten has given some schools the luxury of doing things like that, and I think that's pretty cool. So just trying to stay process-based and get our prep work in and get ready for the game.
All right, when you had the opportunity to look at what happened at Ohio State, and obviously the outcome was what you wanted, but there are always things to work on.
Right.
What do you look at after looking at film and evaluating that performance?
Well, obviously we did some things in the last minute where we executed. In the last minute against Rutgers, I thought offensively we executed. Defensively, we broke down to what we wanted to do and went against what we talked about in the huddle. And offensively, I thought we got 2 really good shots at the end of the Rutgers game. I thought at the end of the Ohio State game, once again, same thing. Ethan makes a huge play to get that steal. Zach makes a great decision to hit Fletch there for the jump shot, no different than we did in the Rutgers game. And so you're happy about that. The things that jump out for me are the missed layups, the turnovers, just the empty possessions. We have to get better. We have a team that can do a much better job of probing the defense, being a little bit more disciplined, but getting a quality shot every time down. When you have those empty possessions, especially the pick sixes, it just kills you.
Obviously, familiarity breeds contempt. I mean, everything about Micah. He knows everything about you, and they're a very unique and yet really good basketball team. What do you see for tomorrow in terms of what challenges they bring?
Well, it jumps out as their experience, their skill level. They have a lot of people who can dribble, pass, and shoot. They really stretch you out with their ability to shoot threes. Pickett has had a fabulous season. Rebounds the ball, defends, very active, can pass it, can score, can back you down, but just a very, very unique player that makes other people better. But they have a good team, and they have experience. They have fifth-year guys, they have regular seniors, they have juniors on their team. They have a couple young freshmen that are getting thrown into the fire that have done some really good things for them. Mahaffey's now coming off the bench and has more of a role than he did a month ago. Keba has played really well and done some really good things, for them. So, for us, it's not letting them steal points. It's not letting them steal points in transition. They're very dangerous in transition of getting those quick strikes and hitting threes. So we're going to have to be able to get back, and it kind of goes back to the turnovers that I talked about. If we're getting quality shots, whether we make or miss, we're going to be able to set our defense, and that's what you want to start with right there, is be stingy on the defensive end and take care of the basketball on the offensive end.
On the surface, obviously with Zach and some of the things that you have inside from a height standpoint, there's a huge advantage there, but, I mean, what do they do to combat that, and what challenges does that bring to you?
Well, I think that's the question for the other coach. I don't know what they're going to do, because I don't think they're going to do against us what they do against other people. Like, they're going to double from different spots. I think they'll mix defenses, even though they don't mix defenses much. They have against us a couple times in the past, especially in the Big Ten tournament. So, they've won some box and one, they've won some triangle and two. They've kind of had someone just hold in the middle and not guard somebody before. So you got to be prepared for that, but you got to play basketball. You got to take quality shots. You can't force things. And obviously we want to do a good job of getting Zach the basketball, but we also have other weapons. So if things are just going to entirely be taken away, you got to use that as an advantage and try to manipulate that.
Last question, just on your freshmen. Obviously they've done a great job, but they've had their moments where they've had to correct themselves. What's been that message? Because they did come through at Ohio State, but there's always challenges with what they have to deal with.
Yeah, Braden had a tough game against Rutgers. He really responded. Fletch obviously had a tough first half against Ohio State. We didn't start him. He responded, and that's what you want. You want the people that you're putting in the lineup, to have a positive response, and you want the people that are now coming off the bench to have a positive response. And I think we had that across the board. And Fletch really stepped up and was aggressive in that second half, cut out his turnovers, made some huge shots for us. And that's what we need from him. And we need that leadership from Braden, as the point guard. He had a couple really good steals that ignited us in that first half while guarding Bruce Thornton, made some key shots, made some key passes. He's still setting us up, and we're not really finishing. Even though we had 13 threes in the game, he's still getting us a lot of open looks. And I think our shooting is coming. Obviously, we made 13 threes after starting off 0 for 7 or 0 for 8, something like that. But both of those guys are really good players. They're just going to keep getting better and learning, lessons. You learn lessons whether you win or lose, and you keep getting better, and that's what you want.